Hey guys, how are you doing? I am really proud and honored to bring a very special guest today into the COD interviews. His name is Gabor. He's from Hungary. He started our COD coaching program last year, and he's had a very fun and very inspiring journey so far. He's gone through ups, through downs. Fast forward to 16th of June, when it is that we are recording this interview now. He's made over 100,000 euros in revenue with his COD store in Hungary. He's made about 140 this year so far, up to date. And we want to talk a bit about his experience with the program, what he learned, and I want you to get to know him as well. So, Gabor, if you want, I can pass it on to you and you can introduce yourself briefly to the people that are going to be listening to us, and then I'll jump into the questions if you're also down.
Yeah, sure thing. So, hi guys, I'm Gabor from Hungary. I'm 37 years old, so probably I'm a little bit older than you guys who's watching, which is good. I'm living here in Budapest with my girlfriend and with my dog. And, I've been entrepreneur all my life. So I realized quite early is like I'm not really fitting into this 9 to 5 type of bullshit. So yeah, previously, I always did what I made me happy, in business wise. That was like media stuff and all other stuff. And then last year, to be honest, that was like a really big motivation because I needed to collect and make some money for health issues. So basically this is when I decided I closing up like everything and then focusing on more on e-commerce. And at the
Right.
beginning
Mm-hmm.
obviously I went to the dropshipping world, US market, and that was like an interesting journey and quite costly. So
How much did you spend? I'm curious.
around like 15K.
Woo!
And I at the end I made it to break even, so that was already an achievement. So it's like,
Okay.
but but what I realized is like, okay, I shouldn't do like what everybody is doing, because everybody back then is like, that was like one and a half year ago. Everybody back then did drop shipping. We suffered from slow delivery time, and then obviously I worked through it, got some traction, but I felt is like, okay, this is not going to be the way. So so this is what I knew for sure. This is
What
not
what made you realize back then the dropshipping wasn't what you were planning to keep on doing for the coming few months slash years?
because the system was not solid. So what I learned from my 20s, because I'm old enough to in my 30s,
But
is
you look young enough.
oh, oh, thank you. It's basically, in my 20s when I launched the business, it was just like, okay, let's do it, let's push it without system. And then it was successful, but out of like three business, was successful. And then
Hmm.
the other two is like, okay, I had no luck. And what I realized after 30 is like, okay, I need to chill down a little bit, not like running around in circles, and
Hmm.
then like find guys I can trust, and also find guys who have systems. Because without system, it just like you have like a stressful high paid job at the
Yeah,
beginning, not even high paid. So yeah, that was the biggest differentiation. And by the way, this is where when we meet online, and I guess I
that was actually my next question, because I see you're going through everything and you're actually answering the questions that I haven't even asked you, and that's perfect because it just comes to show like the hyped up about this whole movement. The idea is I wanted to get your, let's say, input. If you remember how we met, do you remember our like first interactions, or where did you see me?
Yep, probably somehow you kind of came as a like recommended friend on
Okay.
on Facebook. So we became friend on Facebook, and I saw one of your posts and commented on it, and then you reached out. And that
Okay.
that was quite, to be honest, flawless and easy. So it's like that was quite easy. And also what I thought is like, okay, this dude is on something. So I back then I didn't know whether it's valid or not. So it's like, okay,
Obvious. You couldn't
uh,
have known.
yeah. So obviously, okay, this dude is on something. So at least interesting. He's interesting. So it's like that's when we started to discuss, and then we jump into the call,
Hmm.
and then from
Right.
that,
You basically you saw me online, you saw my posts, my
yeah,
stories, and fast forward a few days slash weeks later, you had decided to make the decision just jump into a quick call with us.
yeah. To be honest, I maybe it's strange, but I didn't care about like all the success stories back then. So I normally care about like how credible I believe the other person is. So it's
And that's
like
amazing. That's amazing because honestly, when you started, we didn't even freaking have like that many success stories. We had a few people doing some good shit, but it doesn't even compare to the level that the success of our clients where it is today.
I
And
remember,
this comes to show that for you, it's how much you trust yourself and your instinct, and it
yeah.
paid off.
It's like normally I make like really quick decisions. So it's like I calculate the potential, like I would say, dangers
Hmm.
beforehand if I talk to someone.
Hmm.
So how I normally approach this is like, obviously, if I want to grow a business, I need some help. And there are like two ways you can get. You can watch all the fucking videos in the internet, and you can get like courses, and you can, Facebook groups or whatever. I was over it. So it's like I consumed too much stuff. So that was already confusing.
Hmm.
So what I looked for is basically some guys who were already doing it. I don't
Hmm.
really care whether back then I didn't really care whether other guys learned from them. It's like, okay, if they did it, I can do it if they speak English. So it's like, so that was the original.
Because you knew and you realized the fact that you were a pioneer and you could have taken advantage of being a pioneer, and people who would still join today or this year, I would still consider them pioneers because it's not something so harshly implemented and grounded as e-commerce would be in the Western countries. I mean, you can disagree with me if you don't think the same way. And I'm actually
I,
challenging you to disagree with me if you have any like other
that
thoughts on this.
that was also the motivation for me. So it's like I didn't want it to do like everybody is doing. And also what you guys came up with, your COD model, is like that was like, obviously I saw some guys might doing it, but I didn't have like any clue how they are actually make it profitable.
Hmm.
And what I saw is basically the traction of the ads and all other stuff. So what I realized is, okay, I want to jump into this wagon. You guys, you know, definitely know what you're talking about.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask you when we got in the first call. I was just looking forward to asking what made you pull the fucking trigger and join the program.
No, that was like 5 minutes for me. That's like really quick. So it's like 5 minutes. Maybe I'm old enough to kind of recognize who is bullshitting, who is not. So after 5 minutes, so I need to trust the other person. They
Mhm.
really genuinely want to help. And that was the first instinct I got. So at that point, the only question was like, okay, how I'm gonna make this happen regarding like financially. So it's like it was the question, like, not like, okay, whether I can afford it or not. The question was like, okay, this is going to be an investment. I
Yeah.
should look like this. And what I set for myself is like any investment overall I had, like, I don't know, overall like 10K investment for a whole business. So it's
Okay.
like, so okay, this is the maximum I can gather, because obviously the motivation was there. I needed to make money, and Secondly, I wanted to enjoy doing it.
Hmm.
So when you starting something new at the beginning, that's not really you can enjoy.
Yeah,
uh,
obviously you gotta put a lot of effort into it before turning it into a successful money producing machine.
yes, but if you don't have like any guidance, you're just guessing.
Yes.
So obviously, and what I realized is like I have my own coach in my private life and professional life as well. So it's like I might get like a ecom coach. uh,
Younger ecom coach.
yes. so
Even
so
younger ecom coach.
so that was the original thinking methodology, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I got it. I got it. So that's perfect. Thank you so much for answering my question. I'm really curious to ask you, how did the whole process of working with me turn out to be after joining the program? So what did happen? What happened practically from what we said that would happen versus what actually happened?
It's like what you guys promised is obviously a really clear system, a weekly follow up, all the guidance, and all the push from your side to make things happen. And that's
Yeah.
actually was 100% true. And that was kind of my story went sideways, I would say, back then last year. Because last year I got some health issues, and also I needed to kind of I didn't want it to I don't want to make excuses. I didn't make like enough effort, so I found like first fitting products, and then some of the products sucked, then I kind of stopped the whole effort. And that was not because of you guys, because you guys are like follow up like relentlessly. I'm doing. And then, you know, end of last year, what I realized is like, okay, that was like a half-ass try from myself. And by the way, with this half-ass try over, I was already ROI positive with you guys and all the stuff. So that was already an achievement, but that was like a bullshit achievement. So what I did is basically, okay, let's see whether I can find products which kind of restart the whole process. And so what I realized, I needed a business partner who is actually handling like all customer service, all the order processing, all the shitty stuff outside of marketing, because this is what I enjoy, and this is what I like to do, and all the
Okay.
other stuff is like no.
You wanted
So
to find someone that could compensate for your weaknesses with other things that they would do better
yes,
than you,
yeah,
and that would allow you to put your focus into the most cash producing parts of
yes.
your business that you know you are best at.
Yes, that was exactly the case. So basically, previously I worked together with Timmy, who is my business partner, and
Hmm.
to be honest, at the beginning, when we restarted, we put it like 1.5k each for product ads, and so it's 3k overall.
Hmm.
But we tested three products, three of them were winner. So it's like I don't know what happened.
100% success rate.
Yeah, but to be honest, those like products was like really saturated. So I thought if I put like a different angle, different creative on it, that's going to sell. And one of it is like I can share it because I'm not selling it anymore. That was an LCD tablet for kids, which is the most saturated product. I don't know. It's like I saw it in Romania, in Hungary, so it's like everybody
That's
saw
what
it.
happens when you don't respect the KPIs.
Yes, but turned out to be, and to be honest, what I also kind of hijacked the process is I found a supplier in Poland who had
Hmm.
like I don't know 3,000 of it. So I ordered only 1,000, and then the ROAS was like super crazy, and all the grandmas in Hungary, I sold them this LCD tablet for their grandkids. Uh,
Ah,
Definitely, because we sold around like 8,000 units in quarter,
wow.
only from this product. 8,000 units. That was like the ROAS was around like 6.5, and the
Wow, from
creative.
a saturated product, you turn it into one that was making you 6.5x ROAS.
Yes.
Wow.
So because that's, that's what I found, like different angles for, like, okay, that's gonna be like school break, so that's perfect for it. So how you can develop the kids, and take down the phone, and like drawing, because that's basically
Mhm.
a drawing tablet.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is,
I,
even so, that's basically a drawing tablet which cost around like 1.2 euro. And a lot of customers actually commented, or not customers, but a lot of people commented on Facebook, okay, you can buy it on Pepco for like 10 euro. We sold it for 20 euro, and they still bought it. So sometimes it's like you get lucky, and also what I learned from it is like I shouldn't assume anything. I should test it. And also I can be like super really creative with the products, and how I can market, and how I can source like videos. And because the best converting videos for this product, that was my friend who have kids, and basically we made a video, and that was like a UGC content
so
for
thank you
video.
so much. Thanks for the insight. It's really, really amazing to hear this story. I would like to go back to asking you a few more questions
Yep,
if you want and if you can. Because you come from an agency background. You ran an agency that was spending a lot of money for big clients on ads in the
yep.
Western countries. So you have some experience with that. And I want you to tell everybody that's watching now how you think about and how you saw from personal experience the difference in ads costs from what you were used to before versus how they are here in Eastern Europe.
That's like a completely different league. So in Eastern Europe, you can, if you, and it's not about luck. It's if you have like good enough creatives, you can get like 1.52 euro CPM, at least for Hungary. So it's like probably maybe in Romania it's kind of the same,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or even better in the US market. That was like 5 times higher, and obviously 4 or 5 times higher. And obviously the cost of the like creating content, that was like still also like much higher.
But you were not running conversion ads in the US, right?
Yeah, we ran conversion ads as well, and that was like, to be honest, there are
And
like
you
upsides.
had
And
only you had only like $10 CPM for conversion ads.
no, that was like much higher for a
That's what because I want to compare eggs to eggs because I
yeah.
think conversion ads are at least $15 to $20
Yeah,
CPM.
it was back then. That was like 2.5 year ago, and obviously the ad cost went high. From that point, that was like 20-25 euro CPMs
Mhm.
in the US market. And here, what I realized is like, okay, what are these like CPMs? So it's like when I started to see, to be honest, obviously it makes sense for like Eastern Europe, Central Europe. It's like much lower, but I was quite shocked. And that's why by the way, I understood my friends who actually having like e-commerce businesses here, and they are doing like quite good. And how is it better here? Because here, back there in the US, you don't really get like that much data for like $5 ad sets or $10 ad sets, because that's like, okay, you get like, I don't know, almost $1 CPC, and then
Mhm.
like you get 10 clicks. Okay, what do you do with it?
Yeah, it's the same thing I'm telling to people when I get in calls with them. For the same $1,000 that you spend on ads in the US, it's as if you were spending $15,000 for ads in Eastern Europe. And it's exactly the same platform with exactly the same functionalities. And it's the exact same amount of data that is being sent into your pixel, which can learn with the same, it's the same amount of data with 1,000 as you would get for 15,000 to the same pixel that is trained way more on the same $1,000.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Because you
So
don't get 20 purchases, you obviously get 100 or 200 or 300 purchases. And That to me is crazy, and I'm trying to explain it to people in a very, very simple way about the concept. I mean, I'm making a parallel between buying inventory and testing ads, because people are used when they get into e-commerce to spend money testing ads. And that's obviously an amount that you are wasting. It's not something that you're investing. $1,000 spent on ads are $1,000 that go as expenses in your business. $1,000 put into the products that you buy in inventory, it's $1,000 that goes into the asset of the business that can be turned into cash flow and then into profit.
Yep.
So it's not the same thing. If you spend $1,000 on ads, then why are you afraid to spend $700 on inventory? Because the same product that you would dropship and you would buy it for $10, if you are dropshipping it, then if you are bringing it in inventory, you would pay $6 or $5 for the same product.
Yeah, I think it's like, in the drop shipping world, everybody is kind of used to it. We are spending upfront on ads and not on
Yeah,
inventory.
yeah.
But the reason they used to it, by the way, that's just my opinion, is like because they haven't passed through this drop shipping stage to turn into brand. Because obviously, there are like good stuff in the overseas as well. If you have enough cash to launch a brand
Yeah.
for it. But to be honest, at the beginning, I was like, okay, how much should I order? Like, how much product should I order? How many products should I order? At the beginning, we started like 500. Then, when I realized if we sell like 500 within 3 days, there is no point
Yeah.
to. Then, obviously, that's going to be the next stage of like if you have like 7 winning products and different like inventories. So it's like how you managing it.
Yeah. So, if you want, obviously, and if you think we can spend the next 3 minutes max discussing about some of your numbers,
Yep.
because I know you're also a bit in a hurry. I want to show appreciation for your time, and I want to let these people know exactly, like, because we're struggling in a bad way to understand how to help you go from 45, 55,000 euros per month to 100,000 euros per month with COD in Hungary. And before we get into solving those issues, I also want you to share with them like how much you've made in the past few months, and how was your growth, how was your ROAS, all of these like numbers, how much profit you've made percentually.
Okay, so basically how I see it, now I'm arriving to the place when we are like almost double, or like 70% growth every month. And the reason we do
Wow.
that is and I wanna, as you know, I wanna achieve latest next month 100K mark, and then keep
Congrats. I know you will, because I know you will.
it, and to keep it like 1-2 months on that level, just to accumulate some cash to
Hmm.
launch like properly in Romania, and then obviously get traction, get a team over there. Because what I learned in the last 3 months is like there is so much I can do, and obviously there is a limit for it. And obviously I don't want to
Yeah, you
push
need to
things.
delegate. You need to delegate. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
I'm listening.
so regarding to the numbers, is like last month was like 50K, the previous one was like 40, then 30. Now in the middle of the month we already 50 or like
So
45.
you made 50,000 euros in May, and now at on June 16th you're already at 45,000. So you're
Yes.
almost in 16 days you made almost the same amount as you did
Yes.
in 1 month. So
Yes.
you're getting closer to the first 100K month. But I want to stop you here because people are thinking, oh my God, you started from zero in
Yep.
COD. You
Yep.
started from zero less than eight, let's say seriously, less than 6 months ago.
Yep. Yep. That was like almost, I wouldn't say like almost zero investment, but that's like really low. So at the beginning, I only put it like 1.5K, and even my partner put it 1.5K, but that was 1 month in the
So you
business.
started with 3,000 euros in a shared investment, which snowballed into helping you achieve 100K months, which are based off obviously stocks that you purchased, but you were rolling the investment that you made
Yep.
without having to put in another 20,000 euros from your own money, as you would need to do in FBA or other kind of businesses that require really big amounts of stock beforehand.
Yeah.
Because I want people to understand the hybridized, let's say, model in which once you get the snowball up and running and you make your first 10K, 20K month, you don't really need to keep on pushing forwards with investing into inventory.
Yeah, it's like the stretchy part was like we invested into inventory like really heavily, and now we have in the new inventory arrived. We have like 70K, 75K inventory in stock. And then obviously if I get like 2 or 3 winning products per week, obviously I can also order more,
You
because
turn the 3K investment into inventory into over like 50K inventory, like worth 50K worth of inventory without you having to put in more money. It was just
yeah,
reinvesting profits into
yeah,
inventory.
yeah, that
And
was it.
that's excellent. That is amazing. That's
And also we took out some money with my partner, but not that much. So overall we reinvested almost everything. I believe we took out only like 10K.
oh,
So
okay.
so
Really happy.
so yeah, basically, the biggest challenge was at the beginning is like, okay, it's like let's put everything back. But obviously I was not that secure like when the products start to die.
Hmm.
So and then happened sometimes. It's like I ordered like 3,000 products, and then out of around like 2,000 it started to die. So this is where basically I needed to become like
More
more
creative.
more creative, because what I realized and what I also learned from you, it's all about the fucking creative
Yes.
on
Yes.
with the ads.
Gabor, I really got like a lot of valuable info from the talks that you were putting in. Like, thank you so much for your effort. And I got like a lot of required, let's say, valuable, precious points that I took out from what you were telling me. And I appreciate your time and taking the time to actually stay in here with me. And I haven't paid him, guys, to tell you any of these things. As I say in any interviews, it's
Yep.
quite the opposite. Actually, he paid to join the program, which is just proving that he went from zero to turning in 40, 50,000 euros months in Hungary. He's moving on to probably 80 to 100K this month if he keeps on the pace. And I'm looking forward to, talking to you again when you're smashing the next milestones, because I'm sure you will. I want to see how this year ends for you in 2023. And yeah, I want to keep in touch and to give these guys feedback as we go down the road.
Sure thing. So, and I also wanted to thank you and also Katalin. Without you guys, I'm not saying is like it wouldn't have been possible. It would take like years and much more money. So because
Thank you so
and
much. Appreciate it. I'm really grateful to hear that.
and also like one last note is obviously at the beginning, like everybody has choice, and the choice is whether you put, how do you distribute your investment. So you can go all in and try out stuff, and then that's going to get you some results, but it's going to take more time. For me, what was like really really viable is like you guys were always reachable, and also, and obviously you're gonna have like a whole fucking questions, like different questions at the beginning, at the middle, and also when I will have 100K. So, and obviously the only way, and by the way, the guys who already have like 100K or more in this model, they don't really share it. So, and that is
That's true.
that's the reason for it.
Those guys actually hate us for what we do.
Yeah, and I can imagine, and that was kind of important for me to get traction on these markets before you guys are revolutionizing, like training everyone or like bringing a lot of competition. So if I'm,
We're gonna force you to step up, Gabor. We're gonna force
yeah,
you to build a $1 million brand. Otherwise, you are gonna get stuck in the COD forever.
yeah, that's the plan.
In the like normal game, yeah, every time when the temperature gets higher, you're gonna have to find ways to cool it down. So it's just gonna take you to the next step. That's what I've learned every single time. When you get pressure, you start. Pressure turns dust into diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I know you're in a rush. That's why I was stopping you like before when we
Uh,
were talking. I wanted to kind of make it more compressed, so that we
cool.
don't lose time with.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really liked your answers. I really appreciate you having, being here with me. And I think it's going to turn out to be a really fucking great interview, but my video editor will have a lot of fucking work to cut 50 minutes.
Yeah, sure. I can imagine.
And yeah, all the success.
All right. Thank you, bro. Have a great weekend.
Keeping the fists. Take care.
Bye bye.